I want to teach you some important and useful idioms that you can use in 2025. Now, this vocabulary has gained popularity, often reflecting social issues, trends, or even cultural shifts. And I don't want to waste any time. Let's just go ahead and get started because I want to hit the ground running. And we'll begin with that idiom right there, to hit the ground running. This means to immediately work hard and successfully at a new activity. And it really has a positive connotation. So this is a great idiom that you can use when talking about work or just any activity that you're really excited to do. The project begins next week. We really need to focus so that we can hit the ground running. So whenever you want to stress that you're going to work hard and right away, this is a great idiom that you can use. Like I said, I don't want to waste any time. Let's start building your vocabulary. I just want to hit the ground running.
I hope you don't mind me starting on these documents. I just wanted you to hit the ground running.
First, when he does become eligible next year, I want him to hit the ground running.
Now, if building your vocabulary and learning new idioms is a goal that you have this year, then please subscribe, turn on notifications. That way I can become your teacher. My name is Wes. The channel is Interactive English. It's all about trying to help you reach your fluency goals. And if you subscribe to the channel, you will not regret it. You're going to learn so much. It will really be a game changer. And I want to talk about that idiom because it is becoming more and more commonly used to say something is a game changer. You can use this whenever you want to say that something significantly alters a situation, and mostly in a positive way. So this is a great phrase that you can use to add emphasis. Robotaxis are a game changer. This will be the future of mobility. So in general, we're talking about a new development that has a massive impact on a situation. And in that case, you can say that something is a game changer.
Now you of all people like this. I'm going to use low-fat ingredients. Game changer.
If you follow me, I swear to you, it's a game changer.
Hey, you're looking at the 65-inch 4K, huh? It's a game changer.
Throw shade. Now, I'll be honest, this is an idiom that I don't really use. It is more informal and probably used mostly in the United States. And because it's more informal, it may not be as commonly used as some of these other idioms. However, it is definitely gaining in popularity. But this is an idiom that you're more likely to come across on social media. But what it means is to subtly disrespect or criticize someone. So it really does have a negative connotation. And I mentioned that you're more likely to come across it on social media. Here's an example. Jason Kidd throws shade at the Celtics. Our group was ready to go. They were ready to celebrate. And in a way, he is slightly criticizing the other team, basically saying they weren't prepared, which is why they lost. Here's another fun example because I think it's good to have a laugh. This is a fun way to build your vocabulary. I don't always throw shade, but when I do, it will be to your face and not on Facebook.
Do you know you're throwing shade behind her back?
So, would you just stop by to throw shade?
We're having fun doing sister stuff. Today, I learned to throw shade.
Then we have under the radar. This means not attracting attention or discreet. And this is a great idiom because I think we can all relate to it. Sometimes, well, many of us are in a situation and we try to fly under the radar. She was not a well-known musician, and for the most part, her music went under the radar. That suddenly changed when one of her songs went viral. There are a couple of things I want to say about this idiom. The first is that there are some common collocations, some verb idiom collocations, and often you will use this with verbs like to be under the radar, or to fly under the radar, or to go under the radar, or even to stay under the radar. The next thing is that you may also use the phrase below the radar or beneath the radar. They have the same meaning, but as you can see, they are not as commonly used. For the most part, people will use the phrase under the radar.
It's under the radar.
We've been living in this no man's land for the past month, flying under the radar.
Ain't nobody around here knows me. We can fly under the radar.
Because of the news. We need to stay under the radar.
Then we have the idiom to rain on someone's parade. This just means to spoil someone's enjoyment. And I'm sure that you can think of a time when someone rained on your parade and they just spoiled and ruined this good time. I could say, right after I got a promotion, I received some bad news. It really rained on my parade. So this idiom really means what it says. You have this parade, which is the enjoyment, and then the rain comes and it spoils everyone's good time. Now, you may also use this idiom to premise some bad news. For example, I could say, I hate to rain on your parade, but, and then I spoil everyone's enjoyment, or I'm sorry to rain on your parade, but it's like you're kind of softening the bad news and basically telling someone that you're going to spoil their enjoyment.
The last thing I want to do is rain on your parade.
Sorry, I don't mean to rain on the parade.
I find parades to be impotent displays of authoritarianism.
Romance is never perfect, but don't let me rain on anyone's parade.
Breaking the internet. This is a phrase whose popularity has really skyrocketed because it means causing a major viral sensation online. Did you hear about the latest political controversy? It's breaking the internet. This is a phrase that really has become popular due to social media, and social media is not going away anytime soon, so this phrase probably won't either, because nowadays the way that we consume information is via the internet. So if you have a video, a post, a meme that really takes off, then you can say it's breaking the internet.
All right, let's break the internet.
He's all over my Instagram now. You're about to break the internet.
Good, I hate the internet.
It's working! We're gonna break the internet!
FOMO, fear of missing out. I really like this acronym. It refers to the anxiety a person feels when missing out on some social event or experience. And this is an acronym that I think we can all relate to. I think we've all experienced FOMO at one point or another. I could say a lot of people are buying Bitcoin because of FOMO. To give you a little more context using this informal acronym, here are some news headlines. Bitcoin rally stall creates entry point for FOMO investors. This follows up on the previous example, but I think this is an acronym that often gets used when talking about the stock market. How Coldplay FOMO could lead to burnout. I suppose they're talking about the music group Coldplay. And finally, FOMO leads to shopping addiction. Here are some more examples.
Oh man, some of our friends are at a rooftop in Brooklyn.
Oh, somebody's got FOMO.
And watching their Snapchat stories is like FOMO 24/7.
Thank you for coming to celebrate Meredith. She's in heaven right now with some serious FOMO.
At the end of the day, this is an idiom that I think I use quite often, and it means when everything is taken into consideration. Kind of like saying ultimately. So really, you're going to use this idiom after talking about a series of events, and then you'll use the idiom and then state the most important information. In this lesson, I want to teach you some useful idioms. I'm trying to give you a variety of examples, and at the end of the day, I just hope that you learn something new. One thing I want to point out is that this expression is similar to the phrase in the end. Don't confuse it with the phrase at the end, which refers to, well, a point really at the end of something. The Britannica Dictionary talks about this. At the end is used in the idiom at the end of the day, which means something similar to in the end, when everything is considered. However, at the end is most commonly used more literally as a prepositional phrase followed by of, to refer to the end of a specific noun. This is just something to keep in mind because I do hear people confuse these from time to time. And in this case, I just want to highlight the idiom at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, all that matters is what you think.
At the end of the day, we are all just trying to get by.
At the end of the day, you can't depend on anyone else but you.
The new normal. I don't know why. I feel like I hear this phrase every other day now. But it refers to a state of things that is accepted as usual. And maybe I hear it more and more often because there are a lot of things that are different than before, some of them a little weird, but they're becoming accepted, and you could say it's the new normal. According to a recent poll, many Americans believe that remote work is the new normal. This is a funny joke using this phrase, so I wanted to share it with you. He says, I swear, Karen, if you say new normal one more time, getting frustrated that she keeps mentioning this new normal as she's holding this mask.
21st century family coming through. This is the new normal.
Over the past several days, there has been increased ICO chatter, but that is the new normal.
But scared is sometimes good.
Unless it becomes the new normal, in which case, that's no way to live.
Clapback. This is also an informal phrase that's mostly used in the US, so it may not be as common as some of these other idioms, but still gaining in popularity. And what this refers to is a quick, sharp response to criticism. Here's an example. I'm not afraid to clap back at the haters who criticize my English lessons. This is not true. There are haters out there, but I tend to ignore them and I don't clap back.
Everyone in this office wants to fight you, and they're planning a prank.
Under the weather. This is a great idiom. Well, I mean, it's not a great thing, but it's a great idiom to use. It means that someone is slightly ill. So I like this idiom because I feel like I use it quite often. Instead of saying that, well, I feel a little sick, I'll just say I feel under the weather. I woke up this morning feeling a little under the weather, so I went back to sleep. Often you may use this idiom with an adjective like little or bit. I'm feeling a little under the weather, or I'm feeling a bit under the weather.
Okie dokie, and what seems to be wrong with Twinkle?
It's just a bit under the weather.
Yeah.
Well, Homer and Bart are, well, they're under the weather.
I'm sorry, I've been a little under the weather.
In the driver's seat. This refers to being in control of a situation. And really, the idiom means what it says, because if you are in the driver's seat, then you control the car. But in this case, we're referring to some situation. Mark likes to act like he's in the driver's seat, but Jessica is the real leader of the team. I will admit, sometimes I like to be in the driver's seat and control the situation. It really just depends. But other times I will gladly sit in the back, go to sleep, and let someone else control the situation.
Negotiations are all about controlling things, about being in the driver's seat.
And another lifetime starts right now, with you in the driver's seat.
Now, I hate to rain on your parade, but I really need to wrap things up. But if you'd like to continue building your vocabulary, maybe you're experiencing a little FOMO, you're welcome to watch another one of my video lessons, because at the end of the day, it's all about helping you reach your fluency goals. If you enjoyed this lesson and learned something new, please hit that like button. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. So long.